So hello, I'm going to show you DiagWiki, a tool that automatically generates interactive diagram documentation from your low-code codebase. So the problem I have is like either you want the tool to visualize your code by the power of LLM, or you want to understand a codebase quickly. I personally cannot have a direct understanding by those like traditional documentation. Plus, there's lots of established tools for text-based wiki generation, so that's why I built the DiagWiki to solve this problem. It is a diagram-first documentation generator powered by RAG and local LM models. So as you can see, this runs completely locally, and your code never leaves your machine. It uses Ollama for local LM inference, so both for privacy and cost. There's no API costs and no rate limits. It'll only require some hardware requirements. And as you can see, what we did is just we launched the software in the backend, and then input our local path to the front end. And then it will just automatically collect those documents and start doing the analysis. So let's just wait for it to generate. After the generation, I'll show you some more exciting functionalities. And for the backend, it actually just read all those code files and store them as RAG formats and used for further analysis. As you can see, after the analysis, it already shows the sections it needs to generate, and then put it in a queue to wait for it to generate one by one. So let's wait. You can see the first one is the class diagram. And also when you click on the right panel, you can see the detailed reference at the RAG retrieved. So for this project, 5 types of diagrams are supported. The most traditional flowcharts and sequence diagrams. Also, there's like state diagrams and class diagrams, and also support ER diagrams, these 5 parts. And it is actually generating Mermaid.js code, and will be rendered in the front end. You can see like it's pretty like traditional professional styling. You can see these graphs are gradually generated. Oops, so like there's also, LM is like a black box, so sometimes it will also generate some corrupted diagram, but there's also a fix button when a error is detected, and we can just, what it do in backend is actually it's takes the error message, combine into the prompt, and send to the backend to let it fix it. So hope that it will fix the error this try and for the new try. Okay, yeah, looks perfectly fixed. So as you can see here, it is the fixed diagram for the state diagrams. By the way, you can also, on the left panel, you can switch to the tree view to see the detailed folder structure. And also, as it's a agentic tools, you can also query for further details for both the codebase and the wiki through the bottom query inputs. Like here, I just asked why only use Olama's backend foundation. Is it better to add OpenAI Google API? You know, that's my reason behind it is I just want to make it a pure low-code solution. So no API, no token, and no potential leakage. As you can see, pretty good. The backend has a pretty good answer for the query. Also, it's not just for the querying. You can also use this input box to ask, but also instruct the model, the backend, to do both creation and also modification. As you can see, I just said, can you add a diagram for backend rack service logic? So what it does is just streaming the output and also identifying which diagram or which diagrams I am referring to and do the modification. Or here's actually doing the creation. Here you can see the newly generated diagram is already added. And seems that it just got one pass all the way along, so I want to also make it more complex and more comprehensive. I can also use the query box to instruct it to do the modification to make it more comprehensive. So you can see the backend also identify the modification intention and then help me to write an execution plan. So you can see like currently it just got much more vivid flow diagram. Besides that, also probably you will find that for some complex structure that is outside the model's capability, it's hard for RAG to work perfectly. So what I have another functionality that you can see at top left, there's a generate custom diagram functionality where you can manually select the files to let the backend to analyze. And also there's like the prompt about what you want the model to create. And also the diagram type, you can either make it auto or you can designate any one of the 5 diagram types as a prompt. So you can see it also doing the generation in the backend. As you can see, also as the same as the generation, but also you can see as from the reference part, it's actually just showing all the files I selected before. What it is actually just retrieve all the sections of the code files I selected and use that for the RAG. Since you can either just see the raw code itself and copy it to elsewhere, or you can just directly modify it locally on the web page and update it. So like for this one, there's too much styling, so I just don't want those colors. I just want to make them have unified colors. I can just delete the final styling parts and directly update. It will update to the backend and then immediately showing on the front end. Also, another traditional function is to export the mermaid diagram as multiple formats. Like there are multiple formats supported. Well, that's it, and I think it's an open source project. So if you really want to have a deeper look, you're welcome to fork the program or make some to see the detailed implementation of the backend and front end.